Today, I learned why Bob Ross was always calling mistakes happy accidents instead. Mistakes can be hard to deal with, and I, for one, don't like making them at all. But when I was working on my latest art piece, I picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies. Most of them were fixed with a little erasing, but when I was drawing a brain, I made one that I wasn't really sure how to deal with. You see, the left side of the brain is pretty straightforward. It's just a normal brain. But the right side, I wanted to look all scribbled and screwed up and discombobulated. Not really being sure how to achieve that, I went with a very literal interpretation and just scribbled all over the inside. But the result was a bit problematic. It looked really flat and out of place, and more importantly, I just didn't like it. So I had to do something different. As a perfectionist, my first instinct was just to erase it and make it a regular brain, but that wouldn't be very interesting to look at or creative, so I had to come up with something else. And after taking a break and doing some light pondering, it hit me. There's actually an entire art form that is based around turning scribbles into beautiful works of art. It's called neurographic art, and I actually used to do a lot of it. So I decided to turn the entire right half into a piece of neurographic art. To do this, I started off by rounding off all of the sharp corners where lines intersected so that I was left with a bunch of nice, smooth, irregular shapes. But that still looked pretty flat, so I decided to go into each of those shapes and shade them as though they were spheres or sphere-like objects at the very least. Which worked out okay, although I wasn't entirely sure where to put the highlights. It still added a lot of depth and I think ended up looking really good. Then I decided to finish it off with putting some pretty little watercolor over top, and I think it came out looking really good. Honestly, this just goes to show that some of our most interesting and creative work is the product of these happy accidents, as long as we approach them with a problem-solving mindset instead of a self-critical one.